Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your Astroflower reading. This is going to be a weekly reading in two parts. This is going to be the first part that's out at this moment tonight, Friday night. And the second part will come out on Sunday as we prepare for the solar activity that will be coming in this week. If you want to learn more about the Astroflower, there's links in the description below. But there's also a description for our sister channel, the Cymatic TV, where you will get energy updates on what's going on in the vibrations according to your chakras and your aura and stuff like that. There's loads of links and learning about the Astroflower as well in the description. So the second video will usually be linked in the first comment down at the bottom of this video, so you can see what's coming up over this coming week. As I said, this is going to be from the 13th through to the 20th of March. Interesting reading already, looking at it, Scorpio. There's a lot of patience in the world at the moment, and the world is trying, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's not the easiest world to live in, let's be honest. And so a lot of patience is really needed at this present time. But your spiritual path looks really beautiful. Looks really, really beautiful. You've got the opposite to Taurus, which is strange because it is your opposite sign, Taurus. And you've got the opposite to Taurus, similar sort of cards, but in the opposite side. So everything on your material side is on the spiritual sort of side, and vice versa. You might want to have to go and look at Taurus, the reading of Taurus. But very interesting what's going on the spiritual front. And there's that Seven of Cups. Material side of life on this side, spiritual side on this side. And this is your inner being. This is how the universe is trying to influence your karmic path, which is these two here. These are how the guides are trying to influence your karmic path. And these are the guides that are trying to influence, that conversation that is within you. That's within your being, as it were, and your subconscious. And then you've got the middle petal, which is your inner sanctum in a way. And this is how you interact with the world outside and the world around you, the Page of Cups. So let's start on the material side first, because that seems to be the one that's causing a little bit more sort of anguish. Not really anguish, but sensation that things aren't moving on as quickly as you'd like them to be moving on. And you can see here with the the Knight of Pentacles, which is the influence from the universe on your karmic path. The Knight of Pentacles, slowest card in the pack. It's usually depicted with a ploughed field, so everything's prepared for the journey. Everything's prepared to sort of plant those seeds, and the universe is trying to sort of say to you, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Things don't happen overnight every single time. And in fact, the majority of the time, they don't. You've got to do a bit of work. You've got to be on that path on a constant way in order to get the fruits for tomorrow. You know, sometimes you plant your wheat in autumn for harvest next summer. So it's a long process. And that's what it seems to be for you at the moment. And you're being backed up by your guides, which has got the Temperance card. And the Temperance card seems to be, at the moment, and I'm not joking, so far, I've only done 5 of all the signs. You're the 5th sign I'm doing at the moment. And out of all those 5, I think 4 of them have all had Temperance in there somewhere in the situation. And it seems to be the similar sort of message for you guys at the moment. We had that solar, that filament eruption that came through the Earth on Friday, today, when these videos came out. And it was only giving a slight clip to the Earth, but it was mainly hitting Venus. So the energy coming from Venus is water. It's got to do with you as a water sign. But it's also going to be cutting the flow of the influence of Venus upon Earth from Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. So from the 12th, 13th and 14th, or the 13th, 14th, around that sort of period. So you may find that in the physical world, or the material world, it's just not emotionally, it's not hitting all the buttons at the same time. And what your guides are trying to do here, and as well as the universe, of understanding that is a long view of this, your guides are trying to sort of say, it's all to do with timing. The Temperance card, he's leaning on the sun, and he's got the moon weighing upon his other hands, but he can flow between the two quite nicely. And he's got that, he is an angel, as it were, and he's got that ability to bring you messages to you. But it's a message about timing, of how you put your foot on the accelerator, how you put your foot on the brake, how you go with the flow of things. And going with the flow of things may cause you a bit of sort of pain in the arse, really, to be honest. You may feel yourself in that conversation within you. You may start kind of going, I'd like to do this, I'd like to do, oh, I can't do this because of this, because of that. Yeah, there is always blocks within our pathway, but you have that ability with your karmic path, and this is what it seems to be like for this week on your karmic path on the material front, is to look at things in a different way. That's what the Hermit's all about. Now, normally the Hermit is hanging from the tree of life, the tree of knowledge. So looking at things of how you've done them in the past, or how things have happened in the past, how you've done it before, and how can you change that? How can you use that understanding of the past in order to confront life in a different way and a different timing in order to get the best out of life? And it's to stop that sensation or that feeling inside you that kind of like you're trying and the world's just sort of like, you know, creating sort of blocks for you. And it seems to be creating a lot of mental energies and a lot of mental activity within you. So calculating a lot of things of how things are done, how things you do things within your job, within your business, and that sort of thing. It may be a case of like where you might be overthinking a little bit too much, and that may block you into the idea that I can't move forward because this is in the way. And it's not necessarily the case, as we can see with the other cards here. If you listen to you guys and you take coincidences that happen around you, it will spark ideas of how to do this differently. And in order for it to match your spiritual sort of side, which is incredibly light, incredibly beautiful thing at the moment, approaching life differently or seeing things in a different light is going to be important. And you'll learn a lot this week from that. You'll learn a lot of how to turn a negative into a positive. That would be really good for you. And at the moment, you really are dreaming about the future. You know, it seems like you've embarked yourself or you've engaged yourself within your existing relationship or a new relationship or a relationship with family and friends and stuff like that. You seem to have engaged in that. And it's now the material world has to live up to those expectations. But if you try and push the material world in the same way as the emotional world, the material world is a little bit more sort of lumbering. It's a little bit slower than the emotional sort of life. So they may not be in perfect timing. And this is where that whole temperance things will come into play. You know, with your Page of Cups, you're a bit dreamy, a little bit, you know, you're open to new ideas of love, of experiencing new pleasures in life. And it's dreaming about this could be perfect. And this is what you're putting out there. And it looks like on the spiritual side and on the emotional side, this is what you're going to get back, you know. So we'll come back to the Seven of Cups afterwards, because I think that's really important. That ties up both sides really quite nicely. It seems like you're really balanced at the moment, Scorpio. So on the spiritual side, which is this side here, you've got the universe, which has got the King of Wands, and he's leading the way, and even the Lion is following him. So it's asking you to if you want to live that spiritual path, if you want to live that emotional experience completely, with complete fulfillment, you're going to have to take the lead, which is a bit difficult for Scorpio, really, to take the lead in the situation. Not the biggest of gamblers, which is probably a good thing. But on your karmic path, you have the Ace of Cups. And it's offering your love to the world around you. You know, she's offering that cup up to others that are around her. She's got that heart in that cup. She's got her love in that cup. And she's offering it to others, and it's radiating for everyone around to see her. You know, so it might be a case that you need to live and be that experience, that emotional experience that you need to live. You need to do it. You need to take that lead. Be sure about what you want and what you want to experience. And don't be afraid to say it. You know, it might be hard to begin saying something, but once you start saying it, it will flow quite easily and it will come quite nicely. And your guides here, which ties into your Page of Cups, is all about wishing for success, or wishing for love, wishing for an emotional serenity between you and your other person, or between you and your community and your friends and family and stuff like that. And your guides are trying to influence that karmic path of expressing yourself. So maybe this is the time to do that, because even your guides on your subconscious, they're trying to offer you these gifts. They're offering you these little nuggets of gold within you on an emotional front to try and help you explore and express that inner heart within you and just share that with the world around you. And I think it comes from the outside, from the world around you, from that, that mutable passion of fire that comes over the top of that petal there. And you've also got the cardinal air that sort of comes up to meet it. So it's going to be stimulating lots of ideas in the world. You are the only one that can decide if the material world is blocking you here. And this is where this Eight of Swords comes into play. And that's what the emotional tied in with the mental side coming up through you, because these two petals here is water and air. So it's there's a lot of emotions and mental aspects in petals 1 and 2. And that's going to be driving up through you with that cardinal air from Libra as it comes up through you. And it's that whole idea of giving the physical world enough time to adjust and to be in harmony with you as you go forward. Yeah, it's good to dream. It's good to put those dreams out there and say, this is what I want. On the emotional sort of side, and just be patient with the material side, that things can actually come off. And be light on your feet. Be prepared to sort of dance and dodge your way through the obstacles of life, and dream a little bit. Dream about that perfect situations, because through your love, through your emotions, pigs can fly, as it is on that card. So you're definitely in a position where if you offer up, you can see on this card here that there's this hearts down here at the bottom there, and that's what it's in the sea. It's sort of in the background, as it were, and that's what your karmic path is according to your Ace of Cups. You're trying to live it and you're doing well, Scorpio. It's an amazing what you've done, and you should be proud of yourself. Certainly on the emotional front, of being able to let go and allow your pleasures to actually fulfill you and fulfill the people that are around you, so you can be that gift for the entire world around you. Okay? Inside you, you've got the Seven of Cups. And I think this, if there was a card for Scorpio, I think this might well be it, you know, because Scorpio has that problem about having problems with choices and stuff like that. And sometimes Scorpio will prefer not to choose at all rather than make the wrong choice. And that's not the case here. I think it's a case more of, it's more of a case of not one of the choices or the paths that you take in front of you is perfect, because perfection doesn't exist. But if you do choose a path, you will be emotionally rewarded for that choice that you make. If you look at those choices in front of you, it's going to be clear to you, very straightforward, that at some point, which of those choices is going to be the most evident to do. Once you realize what your evident path is, there is no more choices. It's just a question of how you do it. And that's where the material side comes into it. So very good reading, Scorpio. We will be doing a clarification on this according to the sun. We do have sunspots coming around the corner, which will be stimulating that section here where we were talking about earlier on. Certainly if it does some eruptions and etc. You'll have to look at Cymatic TV for updates on that, which comes out on Sunday night on the energy updates, all linked down below. Don't forget, you would need to subscribe and click that bell in order to get notifications for any future readings and etc. of this second part of this reading and the clarification on it. So, yeah, a really good journey coming up for you. It seems like it's on the spiritual and the emotional front. It's now time to go. It's now time to put your foot forward and to stand in your power and lead the way. On the material front, it's a case of biding your time, knowing that this is a long path. If you understand that, it's going to be really easy for you to move on in those timing increments of life. Okay? So don't forget, Scorpio, I hope you did enjoy this. Don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.